What's going on, fragrance family? It's your man Gator, better known as the Novice Nose out here in these fragrance streets. And yeah, man, French Avenue has been putting in work, man, this last year or so. They are definitely trying to stake their claim as being the top of the mountain when it comes to inspired by houses, man. And they've actually put out some really nice interpretations, some real bangers, man. One that I've been really watching and really been hopeful that's gonna continue that trend is this guy right here. This is Vulcan Feu, and it's inspired by, whoa, wait. Actually, I'm not gonna tell you what it's inspired by, man. You gotta check out the video for that part, man. We're gonna take it to the table and discuss, because I've had a couple of wares on this thing. So go ahead and pull up, man. Pull up and stay tuned. All right, guys, so let's get into it, man. The fragrance again that we're talking about today is Vulcan Feu here, and I believe it's pronounced Feu here. That's from French Avenue, inspired by Stephanie Umber Lucas's God of Fire. It kind of replicates a trend that I'm seeing a good bit right now, mixing these tropical, sweeter fragrance nuances, fruity nuances with darker aspects and darker elements like oud, cypriol, those types of things. The one that pops in my mind first is the oud maracuja, which is that really juicy passion fruit, but then you've got this really dark oud underneath it that really kind of gives those conflicting aspects here, those contrasts, makes for a beautiful fragrance. God of Fire is a similar scenario here with that darkness from the oud, with the balancing of the sweeter nuance of that tropical feel from mango. Same thing here with the inspired fragrance. Now again, this is Vulcan Feu. Let me see if, and I'm gonna actually show the box off a little bit because I love this box design here. This is the sleeve, and I think I got it upside down. Do I? No, it's right. But this is Vulcan Feu. I'm gonna bring the snakes on one of these episodes, man, so y'all can see them. This inspired me to do it. Maybe when I do the Vulcan Sable, I'll do that. But here is the box. I got a little shadow going on right there too. That's interesting. All right, there we go. Just fed back. And then this is textured, by the way. Very much a textured style here. All of this is rough to the touch. Opens up really nice. Look at that. That's beautiful. This is a beautiful bottle. Again, snake representations all over it here. Gamora would be pleased. This is the bottle. And even the top of the bottle, by the way, this is kind of a textured snakeskin type of feel here to the bottle. So let me get a good spray of it on here. Just for context, I do have the God of Fire. I actually have on this arm. And I've been kind of doing a little bit of testing on it for the last few days here that I've been wearing this fragrance. So the first thing you get when you spray this fragrance, it opens up with this beautiful tropical feel. It's fruity, it is mango, yes, but you can also pick up a good dose of the other citruses that they've blended with it. Specifically, I pick up a little bit of a lemon, that nuance that's in there that really is grounded, and it could be a lemon verbena, because it does come across a little bit, this one, as it dries into the initial opening, comes across a little bit more of a florally type of vibe than the original does. Now, that being said, both of them have this juicy mango opening. You're getting that beautiful tropical nuance, and then right behind it, you can sense the heaviness of it. You can sense the darkness that's coming in with those oud aspects. And you do kind of, from the get-go, start to pick it up. Now, you get mostly your mango essence in the initial sprays and into that 10-15 minute dry down. Like I said, you're getting kind of a fruit blend. You've got a good bit of ginger in both of those. It's not like an overpowering can't talk. Overpowering ginger. It's not like a zingy type of ginger, but it is a ginger that kind of lifts up those fruity nuances a little bit here, makes them a little bit more vibrant. That's kind of what's going on in the original, and it's actually what happens in the Vulcan Feu as well. You're getting an uplifting type of vibe, but at the same time, the contrast is coming in. It's a beautifully bright juiciness, but it's also a darkness that's kind of laying underneath. So it's almost like the aspects of the fragrance are playing kind of a tug of war, right? And that tug of war kind of goes on throughout the beginning half hour of the fragrance. There's a little bit of a back and forth where you're still getting the fruity aspect of the fragrance that's popping off of your skin, and the ginger is no doubt helping that. But then you start getting more of the woody aspects of Vulcan Feu as the hour starts to come in, and even before that, you're getting peaks of darkness from the oud. But especially when you get to the 45-minute to hour mark, you start getting a good dose of that woody vibe. Now there is a good dose of cedar here, and I pick up the cedar a little bit better here in the Vulcan Feu than I do in the original. Now, one of the other things I like about Vulcan Feu is that compared to the original, compared to God of Fire, while they both have similar longevity, and I'm not even gonna lie, the God of Fire seemed to last maybe an hour or two longer. I clocked that one at like 10 hours. I clocked this one at maybe like 8 to almost 9 hours. But the way that this one pops is, to me, it actually projects a little bit better deeper into the dry down than the God of Fire did. God of Fire, once it gets into that like through 2.5-3 hour mark, you lose a little bit of the fruity nuance. It's still there in the background, but it gets replaced with mostly the woody aspects, mostly the cedar and agarwood blend there, and you get a little bit of that herbaceousness, that biting from that cypriol in the base here. The Vulcan Feu actually retains a good bit of that fruity nuance throughout the life of it. So you're still picking up the mango and citrus blend into hour 3, 4, 5 of the fragrance. And along with the fact that you're still retaining those things, those aspects, it's also kind of still projecting off your skin a good bit. Like it doesn't become a true skin scent, to me at least, until it gets into like that 6 hour, 7 hour mark. It performed really, really well for me. I was still, getting whiffs popping off of my skin, and getting people noticing it on me when just from the sillage of it into like hour 7. Walked into the beauty supply store to get some stuff for the beard, the little patch of beard that I got here, and I had someone kind of peek their head up when I walked by, and the young lady was like, "That is amazing. What is it?" And so I kind of broke it down to her and everything. So it does have a good bit of that curbside appeal where you can walk by the curb and people will give you the side eye. That it does have it. So with this one, yeah, it's checking all boxes, man. So it's got good projection. It's lasting, in that range of about 8 to 9 hours here, performance-wise, and it still is popping off the skin. You're still getting that fruity nuance popping off the skin here into the 6 hour mark here, and it never really goes completely wood with the dry down, with the way that it presents. So it just shrinks into a skin scent with that light fruity nuance in the background with the darker agarwood aspects here coming out to the forefront, but it still has that fruity nuance in it. And go along with that, sillage is great. As I told you about the story with the young lady, I mean, it lasts, that was at hour 6. So it definitely still trails. It still has a bit of projection and trailing power into that 6-7 hour mark here. And of course, compliment factor, because I mean, I told you about that one, but in the 2 times that I actually wore it, I got 3 compliments on it, you know, and I didn't even go to work. So I can imagine what it would have been like if I would have went to work and fielded compliments from there as well, because I get a lot of them from, you know, the different fragrances I wear there. So at the end of the day, man, I think this was a great release, honestly, from French Avenue. And of course, they're knocking it out the park. Fragrance World, French Avenue, they're knocking it out the park right now. And this is another one. I feel like this is going to be a really big spring and summer seller for them, and for good reason. It's done really, really well. This is one that's going to get a lot of wear from me and a lot of recommendations from me for the months coming up, man. The summer and spring. It's just a great fragrance, man. And at the price point that it's at right now, I mean, it's kind of like a no-brainer buy, to be honest. I mean, this is one that I do recommend you sample if you don't know how you react to fragrances that use that type of DNA, that oud plus sweet type of a vibe, fruity vibe. Then I suggest you sample first, because you may not be into that vibe. It can be an acquired taste for some people, but if you're into the oud maracujas of the world and stuff, then this is a great pickup. It'll be right up your alley, just like the God of Fire probably would be. Man, this one was everything that I had been hoping for when I first heard about it, man. This one is the best interpretation of that God of Fire DNA that I have encountered, man. This is a beautiful fragrance, man. I love the imagery, of course, but along with that, the bottle and all that kind of stuff, but it's the fragrances side that really has me excited. I am hyped about getting into my spring and summer wear rotations with this one, because it's not only a compliment magnet, but it's got longevity, man. This is something that I am going to enjoy thoroughly when I wear, and that's what fragrance is all about. That's all we got today. Before you leave though, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, share this video with somebody you know that loves fragrances. Until next time, guys, I'm out. And of course, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, make sure you make today the best day ever on purpose. Peace out.